Hey everybody, Iris Sirianni. Welcome to my channel. I help people bring more love into their lives from the inside out. And today I'm talking to you about the power of being honest and truthful in our relationships everywhere in our life, but specifically in our relationship and specifically at the start of a relationship. So how many times have you done something, let's say at the start of a relationship, where you actually weren't honest with somebody about how you really felt? You tried to convince yourself that you felt a certain way, or they felt a certain way about you, but you didn't actually reciprocate, but you actually went ahead with it anyways, and you got yourself into a situation where the relationship didn't actually flow nicely. Like you felt this unsettledness, this uneasiness, this sense of dissatisfaction, but then you ignored it, and then you tried to convince yourself that it was good, or it was good enough, or things are going to work out, it'll be okay. So imagine what it would be like if you could just have the courage to just be honest right up front. So for example, if you, let's say, somebody was attracted to you, and you had that person in the friend zone, and that was good, you were comfortable with that, and then one night you kind of got, partying a little bit, had some drinks, and then one thing led to a next, and you find yourself in bed together, and bam, you're in this relationship, and you're not feeling totally good about it. You didn't feel good about it. You're not necessarily feeling, crazy about the relationship as it is. But at the time, you didn't have the courage to actually say, hey, listen, you know what? I think I'm liking where we're at in terms of just being friends, right? And so that is just one example of hundreds that I could give you of where your truth telling is super important. But it's not really your fault, because a lot of times, oftentimes, we have never been taught how to express ourselves. We've actually been taught to be peacekeepers. I encounter a lot of people who have grown up in environments where they have to walk on eggshells. So they learn actually how to mute themselves to keep the peace. And they learn how to dance around certain things just so that they can keep the peace in the house and within the family unit and dynamics. So you're never actually fully expressing yourself and actually speaking to the discomfort that you're feeling. Okay, so that is one example of why you might find it difficult to be honest and straightforward about what you like, what you don't like, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. The other part of it is the confidence that we have in ourselves. Like most of us, we don't even like who we are necessarily on the inside, and we actually don't even know who we are. So if I were to ask you, like, tell me who you are, what would you tell me? Would you tell me, you're smart and you're funny and you're intelligent and you're kind and caring and sensitive, with a quirky personality? Or would you tell me, where you live and about your kids and who your partner is, or, along that line, right? So there's a difference about who we are in terms of our age, our occupation, and the things that we do versus who are we? What are our personality traits like? What do we value? What's important to us? Okay. So a lot of us aren't able to be honest with other people because we can't be honest with ourselves, and we don't necessarily have that connection to who we are and what we like and what we don't like. And then we're not able to communicate that to people. So we just kind of go with the flow, and we fall into these relationships through osmosis. Okay, so Les Brown is one of my mentors. He doesn't know me as one of his students. I follow him on YouTube and he's absolutely amazing. So I was listening to him recently, as I do often, and he says, if you do, and I'm just going to read this because I've got it written down here. If you do what's easy, life will be hard. And if you do what's hard, your life will be easy. So I'm going to say that again. If you do what's easy, life will be hard. And if you do what's hard, life will be easy. So it might be easy for us just kind of go with flow, keep the peace, not actually speak what we want or say what we want to say in our own truth. That's easy in the moment, but doesn't it make it harder for us in the long run? So it might be harder for us to say, hey, you know what? I really appreciate you as my friend. Let's just keep it in that friend zone. That is harder to say because, you know, the majority of people don't want to hurt other people's feelings. So that's hard to say, but it makes it easy for us in the long run, doesn't it? Because then we're not getting ourselves into situations that are going to make us unhappy. So, you know, it's hard to be honest, but it's easier in the long run. And it's the same with boundaries. Speaking our truth really has a lot to do with boundaries as well. And I'm a huge supporter of the word no, because no is a complete sentence all by itself, right? And oftentimes we beat around the bush trying to make our point, but you know, people aren't very good at reading between the lines, and they need to have direct and clear, concise communication, right? So sometimes all it takes is a resounding no, I don't want to do that. Let's do something else instead. Okay. So I'm going to share a few things that are going to help you in your, I call it the Pandora's box of truth telling. Okay. So point number one is to know yourself, to like yourself, and then love yourself, right? So, I mean, love yourself. There's a lot of love yourself going on out there, but sometimes that's easier said than done. So know yourself. Here's what I encourage you to do is write down who you are and the things that you like about yourself. Are you funny? Are you a good gamer? Do you enjoy gaming online? That's a thing. People game online, and that's a real thing. Do you enjoy beatboxing? Are you good at that? What are you good at? What do you like? What lights up your life? Do you have a great sense of humor? Are you a great dancer? What do you value? What's important to you? Is family important to you? Is honesty and sincerity and kindness and integrity? Are those things that are all really important to you? Those make up who you are. And once you have a look at that on a piece of paper, you're going to see just how freaking awesome you are. And we are not like anybody else on this planet. We are all unique. We have crossover in interests and things like that, but our DNA is unique. We are all unique, right? So when you see that in front of you and you really let yourself absorb who you are into your bones, you actually feel a little bit more powerful. Okay. The next thing is, who do you surround yourself with? Are you constantly surrounding yourself with people who bring you down, who have no focus, no goals, no ambition, who are the Debbie Downers? You hang around them, for 5 minutes and you need a nap when you walk away. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who inspire you, who inspire you to your greatness and for who you can do the same, right? So in life, we need to have the balance and this reciprocal give and take. If you are always taking from other people to fill up your cup, then have a look at that and see how you can give back more and have a little bit more generosity, the outflow of generosity. Okay, so let it be a give and take. And the people who are the Debbie Downers in your life, try and put a little bit of distance between you and those people, and find your tribe that is uplifting and inspiring. And this can be a little bit challenging if you are going through your own growth spurt, so to speak, and you're separating yourself from people that don't align with you anymore, and they're too negative and you want to get more into the positivity train. So that can be a little bit challenging, but there are a lot of really great resources on YouTube to help you along the way. Les Brown, awesome motivational speaker. I listen to Ralph Smart all the time. He's funny, he's quirky, but he's got some really good, uplifting, and inspiring messages, okay? And the last point is practice saying no. And, you know, sometimes no doesn't need a big, long explanation and a story to go with it that you think is going to sound good to somebody else. Sometimes no is just, you know, I'm really sorry. I'm not up to that. And if you actually like to spend time with that person, you can suggest something else, or just leave it at no, thank you. Right? So that's about having good boundaries. And definitely when it comes to our relationships, whether they are our co-workers or people that we meet in church, or our romantic and intimate relationships, our relationships with our friends and families, boundaries are super duper important. But the more we know ourselves, appreciate ourselves, love ourselves, we value ourselves more, and it's easier actually for us to have better boundaries and to say no. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you do, then give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the like button, and share it out to your friends. Now also, I've got a really special announcement. I am doing a relationship Q&A. You send me your questions about relationships, any challenges that you have, that you're having, any questions that you're having that you are looking for an answer for. You send them to me and I will answer them right here on video. And that is going to be happening as soon as next week. So if you have a burning question or a problem that you're struggling with in your relationship, fire that question off to me, and you might be the one whose question I answer on next week videos. So thank you so much. I will leave the contact details on where to send those messages to me in the description box below. And wherever you are, have a fantastic Easter long weekend. Sending you love, love, lots of tons of love. Bye for now.